The Texas National Guard is carrying out Governor Rick Perry's orders to secure the border.
Today, we learned the initial wave of troops deployed to the Rio Grande Valley last week. The force of 1,000 troops is meant to support DPS and U.S. Border Patrol agents after an influx of unaccompanied children crossed into Texas. KXAN's Lindsey Bramson traveled to Camp Swift in Bastrop County, where other National Guard troops are finishing their training to join their colleagues down south.
Right now, more than 300 troops are down at the border. The next group expected to be deployed sometime later this week.
We're all going to be there very shortly. If everybody shows up at once, then you have too many people doing things.
Instead, Major General John Nichols says it's happening in phases. 30 days after Governor Perry made the announcement the National Guard would be headed down to the Rio Grande Valley, most troops are trained and ready to go.
Anywhere from Houston?
Today, Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst spent time at Camp Swift talking to those troops who have volunteered, thanking them one by one. Within the coming weeks, they'll too be headed down south. It took the full 30-day allotment to get the troops ready.
They're being trained right now in surveillance. They're being taught Spanish. They're looking at sophisticated monitoring surveillance equipment.
Both General Nichols and the Lieutenant Governor wouldn't say just how many troops are being deployed.
We've got a big border, but we're going to be pursuing them every time they try to cross.
People in Texas are concerned about the border, not just illegal immigration, but dangerous drugs coming in, human trafficking, and people crossing that border.
They say they're prepared to do whatever it takes to secure the border. Lindsey Bramson, KXAN News.
And earlier this month, several dozen soldiers moved into the Rio Grande Valley as part of the state's joint counter-drug task force. They were not part of the 1,000 troops called up by Governor Perry. You'll remember this recent surge came in response to the tens of thousands of children who crossed into Texas without parents. Most of them came from countries like Honduras and Guatemala, but a lot has changed in the last month. The Washington Post reported Sunday the federal government has stopped searching for housing locations for the children because the number of them crossing has dropped. Several weeks ago, the government closed the immigrant shelter at Lackland Air Force Base.